After you celebrated by watching film the other night, what did you like about the series with Ohio State?
We had spurts. We played better at times on Friday night than we did on Saturday. For whatever reason, maybe it's Parents' Weekend. Maybe there were some distractions that were involved. I don't know, but I was happy with our third period on Saturday night. I think the biggest thing is that we're still growing as a team, and like we're seeing good things, but not consistently. So it's a matter of finding a way to play the same way for 60 minutes. And the biggest thing for me is our ability to come out of our end with some speed, and that's where the inconsistency starts. Sometimes our defensemen like to go back with the puck, or we go back with the puck, and then we don't have good puck support. So for me, that's the number one priority over the next few months, is to really work on our game coming out of our own end and taking care of our own end both ways, offensively and defensively.
And Michigan, if I remember from last year, they're kind of a team that likes to keep you bottled up in your own zone.
Yeah, I mean they're a talented team. I mean, it's going to be like that way all year. I mean, the Big Ten is, it's not going to be any different next week against Michigan State the way they're playing right now. So, we have to, we just have to keep working to, improve over the next few months, and hopefully once we learn that consistency in what we're trying to accomplish, then we could become a really good team, I think.
I'm trying to recall. Can you recall of a player who might have gotten drafted as high as Quinn Hughes did in the first round of the NHL draft, going back to college to play?
There's not a lot. I'd have to think about that, but he's a tremendous player, and obviously Michigan's fortunate to have him back as a first rounder, and frankly probably made the right decision. As far as his physical maturity, just another year of getting stronger and physically becoming, more prepared to play against men. And college hockey does do that, but he's a dynamic player. He just has great skill and instincts for the game, and he can break it down one-on-one, or he can make a play without the puck, and jump into plays. So he's probably one of the most talented defensemen in the country without question.
And they've got a good power play too with him and the other kid back there.
Yeah, they've got good balance on their team, similar to last year. They lost those top three forwards, but they just move guys up, and they just reload every year. But they can skate, and they have they have good instinctive players. They've got some heavy players too, guys that are that more physical type guys. They lost Lockwood last year, and he's a good player. But Norris is playing extremely well right now. Slaker, they got good balance. The Passageovs, they really came on in the second half last year. They were a force to be reckoned with when we played them in the NCAA tournament. That was their third line, and this year they're probably more likely the second line. But they've got good depth up front, and they've got some game breakers on the back end.
What's it like playing? You've been to Yost through the years that they've remade it and stuff like that. What's Yost? How intimidating has it become through the years?
Well, I mean, it's always been an intimidating barn from a fan perspective. I mean, because it's tight. I mean, it's a tight building, considering it holds about 6,000, I believe. But it's tight. They're right on top of you, and they have a great student section, and it's always, for the players, I think it's always a fun place to play. But it is a building that momentum can make a difference, and when they get momentum, then that's when they become scary.
Thanks.
Coach, you've talked about how some of the younger guys will probably have to step up moving into the season. What do you look forward to from that kind of young squad heading forward into the Big Ten season?
Well, I think the most important thing is, and it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, we got the three young defensemen that are playing fairly consistently. It's just about puck decisions and making plays under pressure. And I think the same thing would apply to the freshman forwards too, is having the ability to make a play under pressure. One of the biggest reasons we're not scoring as much as we need to be as far as 5-on-5 hockey goes, and part of that is that we're doing a decent job through the neutral zone. Maybe not so much coming out of our own end, but the neutral zone we're doing a decent job, but we're not finishing the play. And that takes the ability to break down, a pair of defensemen or back check or back pressure guys, forwards coming back. You're going to have pressure in front of you. You're going to have pressure behind you, and it's the ability to make a play with that pressure. And that's always the biggest challenge for young players, is to get acclimated to that. And even, hey, it applies to all our players, not just the freshmen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
What are your impressions of playing at US Ice Arena? What kind of place it is as compared to some of the other places you guys play?
It's really cool. I mean, the time we played there last year, it was pretty much sold out, and it's just a loud environment. And the rink's vintage. You've seen pictures and videos growing up about it. So it was really cool playing there, and especially playing against them. They're a historic team as well, so it's really cool being able to play against them in a rivalry type of game.
What as what do you remember about playing them last year, and what do you expect this weekend from them?
They're offensive. They're fast-paced. They're going to try and take advantage of you if you make mistakes. So we're going to have to play a really smart game and push the pace on them too, because if we attack their defensemen, I think we can capitalize on some chances.
Have you played with Hughes? Do you know Hughes fairly well?
Yeah, I played World Juniors with him, and we were D partners for a couple games, and I played with him. He's a good player, and it was fun playing with him.
I was kind of surprised that he decided to come back after being drafted in the first round.
I thought he would come back. I think he's still obviously pretty thin and still needs a little filling out to do, so I think he's going to take this year to bulk up probably.
You think you've filled out?
Yeah. I just got my body fat back today, and I've gone down at 2%, and I've kept my same weight, so I think that translates pretty well.
Yeah, see, they didn't do that stuff with us when I was playing sports, so thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it. And good luck this week, too.
Coach has talked a lot about consistency being a real key moving forward. Where do you think that consistency comes from?
I think from practice. Usually, going into Duluth, I think we had a couple practices that we probably would have taken back and redone, and I think that showed in the weekend, and not being able to play a consistent 60 minutes in the game. So this week we've had a great week of practice, and I think that's a really big thing in college, because those weeks to prepare for each weekend are so important. So practice is kind of where it starts leading up to the games.
Thanks.